Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be here today. It's been a while, so I haven't been on here since before Disney. I'm a little under the weather, so bear with me, but I just really wanted to film today because I just sometimes you just want to do something and you have to do it. So I wanted to put on makeup today anyway, just to kind of help myself feel better. I actually feel a lot better than I did yesterday. But anyway, yeah, just a little stuffy, a little scratchy, a little muffled, all that good stuff. So like I said, just bear with me. But today I really wanted to get on here and do my makeup and talk to y'all about my latest reads. So I have two books here in front of me that I want to talk to y'all about today. One that was not that great, and then one that was just like so good. Like I finished it super quickly. I actually read it while we were in Disney. I read the majority of it on the way home from Disney because we drive. So that's a good 11 hours, give or take. You know, sometimes it's a little shorter, just depending on how many stops we make or, whatever. So yeah, I read most of it on the way home. I read a little bit of it on the way there. But I think my mind was just like so excited and ready to get there, and my mind was just all over the place. And then we got the phone call about our resort being upgraded, so I was just like super excited. I could not concentrate. I mean, the book was really good, but I just couldn't concentrate on one thing. But on the way home, I was all about it. Like when we stopped, I was like, why are we stopping? Oh yeah, maybe I need to go to the restroom. So those two books are this one is called Handbook for Mortals by Lani Sarem. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. I do know it's Lani though. I did actually meet the author at our local Barnes & Nobles, which is where I purchased the book. I just actually thought the cover was beautiful. I'm so bad at picking books for their covers because they just draw me in. So anyway, but she was talking to us a little bit about it. She was telling us how it was going to be a movie, and it's the first book to the beginning of a series and all this other stuff. So I was like, let me give it a try. So, but on Goodreads, if you follow me on Goodreads, you'll know that I reviewed this kind of twice. I also reviewed the next one I'm going to show you. But when I first started it, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. But it had really bad reviews. Well, actually, it just had like one review, and it was a really bad review. She gave it like 1 star. I'm not sure. There was a reason she gave it 1 star. I'm not sure why, but she didn't. I don't think did she finish it? She must have finished it. But anyway, she was like warding off people for it, like not recommending it, don't read it, blah, blah, blah. And to me, I feel like you need to determine that for yourself. You need to determine if you like a book for yourself. That's just how I feel, because a lot of the times I like books that other people don't, as well as movies. I like movies that other people don't. Everybody's different. Everybody has different opinions, and I just feel like just one person telling me not to read the book is not legit. I want to read the book for myself and determine whether I like it. So when I first started reading this book, I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be cute. I kind of like this. I kind of see where this is going. We'll talk more about it later. But anyway, I gave it a good review in the beginning. Like I just wanted to put it out there. Like, try this book. If you're interested in it, try it, read it. Don't just like not read it because someone said not to. But then my review at the end was not so good. But we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it at the end of this video real quickly. But the book I'm going to talk about while I'm doing my makeup today is Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris. I love this book. It wasn't that long of a book. I think if I would have been home, it have probably took me like a week. It was less than 300 pages, 291 pages to be exact. So not a big book at all, but very, very good. I didn't see what was coming. The reviews on this were kind of back and forth. Some people said that they knew from the beginning, but that's in a lot of psychological thrillers that I find that I read reviews on, that a lot of people say that they saw what was coming. I never see what's coming. Maybe 1 or 2 times I might see what's coming, or I might think that it could possibly be what's coming, but I never have it spot on. But this one kind of had me all over the place. I didn't know who was who in this one. And at the end, the twist is so wild. It's just like, okay, I wasn't expecting that at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop right in before I get too excited and just start talking to y'all without any makeup on, because I'm sure that's not a pretty sight. I do have one new product I want to talk about real quick. So today, as usual, I'm going to just be doing a real quick makeup routine. I just wanted to add some life to my face. I thought I saw somebody walk in front of my window. I was like, who is that? Yeah, I just, you know, make myself feel better. You know, yesterday I didn't wear any makeup and but I felt terrible yesterday. I may go to Starbucks and get me a medicine ball a little later for lunch or something. But right now, we're going to put some makeup on. So, as per usual, just doing a simple powder foundation look. Today I'm going to be using my Mineralized Skin Finish. I'm in the color medium, and this is what it looks like. Also going to be using my Bye Bye Pores Illumination, Bye Bye Pores Bronzer, all my favorite things, Bye Bye Pores Blush. This is in the one Naturally Pretty. I just think it's a very pretty everyday sort of color. I think I've used this before on camera, but I'm not sure. This is just the mini Laura Mercier highlighter. It's the Matte Radiance Baked Powder and Highlight 01. So it's just a light highlighter, but for a light highlighter, I feel like it's got some good punch to it. I have a little brow combo that I'm going to share that I've really been loving lately since I've been home from Disney. And real quick, let me just mention this. So I mentioned in my last video my makeup in my makeup bag. What's in my makeup bag for Disney? It wouldn't come out. I was saying it in my head and it just would not come out. But anyway, I was bringing which I did bring it, the MAC Prep and Prime Radiant Rose, the highlighting pen. I recently discovered that you cannot find, I don't know if they're like getting rid of the color or what, but I cannot find Radiant Rose like anywhere. I went to, before I left, because before I left it was feeling light. And it is coming to an end that I would need another one. So before I left for Disney, I tried to go real quick to get to MAC to get one. They were out, so they sent me to Dillard's. There's a MAC in our Dillard's. And, hey Bella, hi, what are you doing? She's just like standing there looking at me like, who are you talking to? But they didn't have it there. So I think you can get it online from Ulta, but I couldn't find it on MAC's website. Like, I found it there before, but I don't remember being able to find it again. But I do believe I found it on Ulta's website. But they were out of stock last time I tried to order it. So it's very hard to find. So anyway, so I went back to... So I was like, okay, well, I'll just deal with whatever I have left. It's no big deal. I'll bring my powder, concealer, my Well Rested from Bare Minerals. But I just had it in my mind. I was like, no, I want that. I want my Radiant Rose. So I went back to the MAC and I asked again, do y'all happen to have it in stock yet? And she was like, no, we don't have it. I don't know when we're getting it. And I said, well, can you recommend something that's similar? Because I said, I don't really have, you know, terrible dark circles. I just like to brighten this area up and maybe not look so tired, kind of thing. And she's like, absolutely. She said, we have this concealer. It's a very lightweight concealer. I'll kind of match you to maybe the same color as Radiant Rose with it. Let's just give it a try. So I had already something on my eye, so she kind of wiped it away a little bit. But it's this. This is the... Oh, shoot. I should have looked it up before because I cannot... I'm going to the eye doctor in a couple weeks and I'm going to have to tell her, like, I need some readers because these 42-year-old eyeballs are getting bad at reading. But it's... Let's see. Select Moisturize... No, that's not it. I think it says Select Moisturize Concealer. I think that's what it says. I'll have it down below for y'all. I'm in the shade. We matched it as close as we could to the Radiant Rose. but it's in the shade NW15. So she kind of matched it to me, but you know, tried to get as close to Radiant Rose as we could, and I find it's perfect. It's a little bit more thinner than the highlighting pen, like the format of it, I guess. So I used it with my little baby beauty blender, so I just brought that with me on the trip. It was easy peasy. So we're going to be using that today. I know that was a big ramble. I haven't done anything. I haven't put any primer on, so let's do that real quick and get started on this book. So I'm using my usual Milani eyeshadow primer on my eyes. Okay, so we start off with our two characters. I'm trying to remember their names. It's been so long. I read this, you know, on the way home from Disney, which was like a couple weeks ago. I can't believe it's already gone. Okay, yeah. So her name was Layla. Let me. His name was Finn. So it was Layla and Finn were a couple, and then Layla's sister Ellen. So those are the kind of three main characters that we're dealing with in this book. So Layla and Finn were a couple. So in the beginning of the book, you don't get the whole story. You just kind of get like they're at like this, I don't know what it is, maybe like a truck stop or something, like just to use the restroom. You get more of that story later on in the book of like why they there, how they came to be there. But Finn goes off to use the restroom, and when he comes back, Layla is gone. So that's kind of how the book starts. And you know, he can't find her, so he goes to the police to report her missing. So that's how the book starts, and you get more bits and pieces as it goes along, but it's mainly from Finn's point of view. You don't get, do you get Ellen's point of view? No, I don't think you do. So it's mainly from Finn's point of view, and then you start getting it from Layla's point of view. So it's a little deceiving, I will say that, because like I said, there's parts where you have, like I said, it's Finn's story, and then it flips to Layla's story, and then it flips from like now kind of thing to then kind of thing. So it goes back and forth, which I really enjoy books like that. My fanning card. So yeah, it kind of goes back and forth like that, and then you get Ellen comes into the picture. Well, Ellen is Layla's sister, older sister. Layla was much younger than Finn, and Ellen is her older sister. So they come together through grief, and so they kind of form a relationship together. You know how that, you know, I mean, I'm sure that happens, you know, where two people come together over grief, and they just end up falling in love kind of thing. So that's kind of what happens there. I'm gonna pull my mirror in, and now I used this just like I would use the Radiant Rose. So I just kind of tapped it where I want things to be a little bit brighter. And like I said, it's a lot thinner than the Radiant Rose, so I found it much easier to put blend it out with a beauty blender than my fingers. Down there, and I have a few blemishes because it's that time. It's a wonderful time of the month. So yeah, so anyway, so things start happening that is questioning whether Layla is still alive or not. So they pretty much kind of buried her a long time ago. This is like 12 years later. So they've buried Layla. You know, nobody was ever found. So they just buried her memory or whatever. But now, 12 years later, little bitty clues that Layla may still be alive are popping up, like sightings of her, and she starts sending her sister these little creepy Russian dolls. What am I talking about? Dolls. You know, those little ones, that dolls that are in each other, and you just pop the head off and there's another doll in it, and so on and so forth. Those little Russian dolls. But she keeps sending something happened in their childhood where her sister Ellen lost the last one, the little bitty Russian doll, and was never able to find it. Well, Russian dolls, the little ones, start to pop up everywhere. And so Ellen's like freaking out, like nobody knows this story except her. And she's never even told Finn, so she finally tells Finn, but nobody knows that story but her and Layla. Okay, I just want to point out, like, this stuff, this concealer is so light. It doesn't crease right away. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but I really fell in love with it. It not only does it cover a little bit more than the Radiant Rose, but it's so light. Like, I mean, I'm gonna set it. You definitely have to set it because it feels sticky to me. But it's just, I don't know, it's just light, and it just does what I want it to do. I'm really happy with it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and set that with the Bye Bye Pores Illumination Powder, which hit pan. So it's time for another one. Okay, so yeah, so the little Russian dolls start popping up, and Finn is getting a little crazy about it. You know, he's like, okay, why is this happening? You know, and he's starting to believe himself that Layla is still alive. And then he starts questioning his love for Ellen and all this stuff. Layla starts, he starts getting emails. We don't know if it's Layla or not at this point. He doesn't think it is at this point, like in the beginning. He thinks it's someone that may know. And he's told someone about Layla. He's dated someone before Ellen that knows about Layla. And he's wondering if it's her being just like jealous of his and Ellen's relationship. So he confronts her. I'm not going to say who, or, you know, but yeah, so they just keep going back and forth, and they keep getting these dolls, and he starts getting emails, and they're pretty disturbing kind of emails, and not disturbing, just like, why did I say disturbing? They're definitely not disturbing. They're just weird. Like, okay, if you're not Layla, who are you? You know, Mineralized Skin Finish doesn't have much coverage. It's a very, very light coverage. So if you are seeking more coverage, like a full coverage type powder foundation, this is not the one for you. MAC has a Studio Fix powder foundation. That's wonderful. That's the one I took to Disney. Love that one. This one is just kind of like for those no makeup kind of days. It's a very light coverage. It gives you like a little bit of a glow. I know I've talked about this foundation, or well, powder before. It's not necessarily a foundation, but I know I've talked about it before. I love it for just those days that I want something, but you know, not too much. Just something that's just gonna make me feel alive. Okay, so moving on. So then, yeah, like I said, he starts getting emails from Layla, and they start to kind of be like legit, and that's when the book kind of goes into Layla's point of view. So then you're like, well, is she alive? And like playing with him, because the things that she's telling him that she wants him to do in order to see her, so she kind of like plays him. So she's like, let's meet here, because he wants to meet with her and talk to her and see her in real life, you know. He wants to make sure this is really her, and, you know, somebody's not playing him, and he wants to find out if somebody is playing with him. He wants to get to the bottom of it. So he tries to meet up with her, and the emails always say, okay, well, let's meet here. And of course, she's never there. And then she's always like, she's trying to get him to do things in order for him to see her. He's, you know, she's like, if you want to see me, then you have to do this. I'm not going to tell you what. If you want to read the book, I highly recommend reading it. It's such a good read. It's a quick read. It's definitely going to be a good, fun little summer read, I believe, for the summer months coming up. And that's pretty much the whole book. It kind of just goes back and forth, and you know, he starts questioning his love for Layla, and especially, and then she starts questioning him, you know, like if Layla is still alive, and we find out why she's coming back after all these years, are you going to leave me for her, kind of thing. Which I immediately, you know, when I started reading it, and Layla was possibly coming back into the picture, I'm like, oh my God, what is he going to do? Because he was so in love with Layla, as he explains in the book. Like, he's never loved anyone as much as her. And so I'm questioning his love for Ellen at this point as well. But, you know, he's telling her, no, no, no. I've developed a deep love for you. You know, could never go back to that. Layla walked away from our love years ago, blah, blah, blah. But deep down, he really still does love Layla deeply. So I'm just putting my bronzer in my crease. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to go any further than that. The ending is very, very twisted. I can't tell you anymore, because I'll just have to end up giving it away. I can't tell you whether it's Layla or not. I mean, I wouldn't anyway, but there's definitely a twist there, and it involves Ellen as well. So read it for yourself. It's such a good book, such a good little psychological thriller. It's a quick read, good summer read, sitting out by the pool. So yeah, I highly, highly recommend this book. You do get, like I said, there's that twist at the end that involves Ellen, but you get more of Layla and Finn's story of like how they ended up at that truck stop. You know, it wasn't just like a little road trip they were on and they just stopped to use the restroom. There's like so much more to that little story, and leads you up to Layla's disappearance, and then of course just, you know, the big finale, the big ending and all. And yeah, it's just really good. I can't, if I keep talking, I'm gonna give it away, so I'm not gonna say any more, but I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Handbook for Mortals. As I said in the beginning of this video, like, when I first started reading it, I was like, okay, I kind of like this. I see where this is going. This could be good. So it starts off with our main young character. So I think this is considered to be a young adult. So I think she's in her early 20s though. So I don't know. To me, young adult is more teen. You know, I could be wrong. Everybody has their different opinions about different genres and, you know, how they see them or whatever. But I just didn't feel like this was considered a young adult. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, I think she's in her 20s, and apparently she has some sort of either gift or magical powers. And this is where, so okay, I'm jumping ahead. So anyway, in the beginning, you kind of get like her little story of where she's from, just a small town in like Tennessee, I believe. And she just wants to get out of there, basically. So she leaves. She wants to go to Las Vegas to become like big performer or whatever. And you know, I get it. I got the beginning, so I wrote like a little review about, you know, I'm really liking, and I'm liking where this is going. And I just wanted people to be able to think, if I want to read this, I'm going to read it. Don't just go off of one person's opinion and them telling you not to read it, is what I was just trying to get at when I wrote that review. But then the more I read it, the more I was just like, okay, this is just bad writing. This is just legit bad writing. Like, I felt like nothing was looked into. I just felt like somebody just sat down and just wrote this story without having any information about Las Vegas, what it takes to become a Vegas performer. You know, like, our main character, what is her name? I forget her name. I did read the whole thing. I really did, because it kept me interested. And I wanted to see where it was good, where they were going with this, because even like almost towards the end of the book, I was like, I don't get it. I don't get where she's trying to go. Like, I get it, but what is she? Is she some sort of witch, wizard? What, voodoo? What is she? What are we trying to say she is? What sort of paranormal person is she? Zaid. Her name is Zaid. And you can tell, I can tell as I was reading it that the writer wrote the main character as herself. You can just, because I met her, and I could tell that that's what she was doing, which is fine, totally fine. But there were just some points of the story when I was just like, what are you doing? You know, what are you saying? And then the whole love interest thing. So there's two guys basically, like, are not fighting for her love, but like they're okay with each other. They're like, oh, it's all fair, it's love and war kind of thing. And she's going off with each of them. And I just don't see that. I don't see that. I mean, it might be I'm sure it is sort of a realistic thing, but I just don't see two guys being okay with sharing a girl. You know, maybe they are. I don't know. I'm old. I don't know these things. But I just felt like the only way I can explain it, if you go on Goodreads and read my review, the only way I can explain it is just by saying it was just bad writing. And like I said, I kept reading it because I wanted to see where she was taking us. And I wanted to see what sort of character or paranormal character we were dealing with. Because she never really says. You know, she reads cards. So I'm thinking, okay, well, is she like a witch? But then she goes on stage and she does these magical performances. So she's portrayed as like, I guess, a magician. But like, she walks into this Vegas, because I don't know if it's a casino. I don't think it's a casino. I think it's just like a Vegas show. And auditions for it and makes it right away. Like, I just don't, like, it was so easy. It was easy peasy. I just don't see Vegas letting you get in that easily, you know. But you find out why later on, why she was like accepted so easily. You do find out, and I was kind of like, oh well, okay, I get it. But I still just thought the writing just wasn't. I'm not a writer by any means. I've never wrote anything. I've never tried to write anything. I've read a lot though, and this is just very immature writing, I guess. Very. And then if you Google her, she's not active. Like, she took, my nephew was with me, and my nephew got the book too. We kind of texted back and forth talking about it after I posted my review, because he was like, damn, girl. So I told him, I said, read it for yourself, because I want to know what you think about it. But he was there with me, and she took a picture with us. And she said she was going to post it. Go follow her on her social media. So well, I did. I don't know if Tyler did or not, but I did. And I never saw anything. I never saw anything. She never really posted anything. She was in New Orleans for Comic-Con. She posted a few things there, but after that, that was it. So I kind of just unfollowed her. And then after I read the book, I looked her up. And she's kind of shady. She's a little shady. Like, there's an insert of, like, the next book that was supposed to come out in 2018. Well, that never happened, which I can see why. I was just like, what? Where are we going with this? The movie was never made. She kind of, like, wiggled her way into being the New York Times bestseller, and they actually, I believe, took her off that list. So she a little shady. I don't know, but I could just tell the writing was just not up to par. Like, I get it, you want to write something great, put it out there, but it just wasn't good. It just wasn't. I mean, I get where the story's coming from. She wants to make it as a magician in Vegas, and that's kind of how the whole story is, of her going about her daily things, and then the two guys, and so there's like this love triangle, but you don't really know, like, where. It's like you never get to that point, like, where is this going? Even at the end, towards the end, I was like, okay, I don't know if I really want to finish reading this because I'm tired. And just the ending and what happens is so drawn out. Sorry, I had a little coughing fit. It's so drawn out, and just, it's like, get to the point already. But she has an accident. I'll just tell you this. She has an accident. She tries to do this elaborate performance, and she has not an accident, but it basically was too much for her. It was too much magic. So she's like, passes out or whatever, and the only person that can really save her is her mother, because her mother is also witch, wizard, magician, I don't know. No clue. Are they mortal? Are they immortal? I don't know. So then she starts telling the story. Now she's like passed out cold, but she's telling the story from going through everyone's minds and getting their part of the story. Does that make sense? No? Like, she explains, like, after the whole event. So okay, so she lives through this, apparently, because she's telling us the story afterwards, but it's from other people's minds. So she goes into other people's minds, and she's telling the story, the rest of the story, like that. It's just so off the wall. Like, I get it, but then I was just like, no, I don't know. Read it for yourself. If you're interested in it, read it for yourself. I'd love to know what you think about it. Leave it in the comments below if you do read it. If, I don't know. I just thought it was pretty bad, but I don't want to tell you, don't read it. I don't even know if you can get it. You can probably get it on Amazon. But that might be the only place. I haven't really looked for it in bookstores. Like I said, we just went one night when my nephew was here in town, and we went to Barnes & Noble's, and she was there with her books at the table. So that's how I got it. But I've never actually looked to see if it was actually in the bookstore. But I'll link it down below if I can find it, and give it a go. I'd love to know how you feel about it. Okay, moving on. Oh, so my mom's texting me. What is she texting? She never texts. She's cooking a jambalaya for lunch. So, okay. My favorite combo, as when I got back from Disney. I got this little sample in the mail when I placed a Sephora order. I don't know if I showed it to y'all. I don't know. It's from the brand Milk Makeup. It's their mascara. Oh my god. Life-changing. I love this mascara. And these two together, the YSL Vinyl Couture and then the Milk. Like, if you don't have lashes, you will have lashes. I like to give mine a little curl though, because mine like to kind of go straight out, and without using the rollerball. That Benefit's rollerball mascara is legit. It will legit give you some curl. But otherwise, mine sticks straight out. So I start off with the YSL because I love it, and I can wear it on my bottom lashes as well because it doesn't smudge. It's not waterproof. This isn't the waterproof one. I don't know if they have a waterproof version, but this one isn't waterproof, but it doesn't smudge on my bottom lashes, and it smells like a perfume. Okay, so that's one coat of that. I'm gonna put this on my bottom lashes. And then this is the Milk. My camera's like teetering on the battery there, so I'm like, I keep watching it like, are you gonna cut off on me? I'm trying to go fast. So yeah, second coat, I use the Milk, and just, oh my gosh, it gives great, like, it gives length, it gives volume. All these like big brush, I love the big brushes. All the big brush mascaras give me such good lash volume. I don't know what it is. I guess maybe it's the blush. I mean the brush, not the blush. I don't know. That's the second coat. So nothing, YSL, and Milk. It's like my favorite combo lately. Love it. Alright, I'm going to finish up on the other eye, and I'll be right back. Alright, for lips, I'm just going to do a little bit of this Laura Mercier lip gloss. Nothing crazy. This is just a little baby one, but this is my second one, and I really like it. It's called Bear Baby. It's my second small one of this shade. It's just a nude, kind of your lip, but better. One last little squirt. That didn't sound right. Meant to say I was going to set my makeup one last little time. Where's my fan? Alright, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this kind of crazy, all over the place little video where we put on our makeup and talk about books. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I missed doing these videos. We had such a great time in Disney though, but I did miss doing videos. It's been a couple weeks since we've been back, and I haven't put one up. So I do have some more videos planned for y'all. I think what I'm gonna do, I listen to so many books, y'all. Like I have, it's hard for me to kind of keep up and like talk about them. I'd be doing a video every day because sometimes I'll get through a book in one day. So what I think I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna call it like Audible wrap up or something like that. And I'm just gonna talk real briefly about the books that I've listened to and how I feel about them. I may do it putting on my makeup. I don't know yet. But I've listened to so many books since we've been back. And I want to tell y'all about them because there's some that I liked and some that I didn't. But it would be too much to do like a video, an audio book. It would just be too much. So I think I'm just going to compile them and call it like Audible Roundup or Wrap Up or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's the plan. And I do have some beauty videos planned for y'all as well. So yeah, but that's it for today. Before my camera decides to cut off on me, I'm gonna go. I'll have everything that I use, as well as the books listed down below. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.